Hey, what's going on, family? It's Keishorne Scott, author, speaker, and heartbreak coach. And today we're talking about something real to me: dating after heartbreak, right? And a lot of people requested these videos on how to heal, how to get over your ex, right? How do you open your heart again without losing yourself in the process? And I get it, right? It's scary out here, right? Healing is scary, heartbreak is scary. So let's dive into it, right? And if this speaks to you, make sure that you hit that like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. We all know that we all need a little bit of healing, right, in our life. Let's get into this. The wounds behind the smile. We always have these wounds behind the smile, right? Dating after heartbreak can feel like touching a hot stove, right? You remember the burn even when the fire is long gone. It reminds me of a story, right? I had a client, let's call her Tasha, right? Let's call her Tasha. And Tasha was vibrant. She was amazing. She was confident, right? Until 5-year relationship ended, right? She was in a 5-year relationship. It ended unexpectedly, right? She said, Keishorne, how do I recognize myself again, right? Because I don't recognize who I am. How do I trust again? How do I feel again? How do I open up again? How do I love? And that's real. That's a real conversation, because heartbreak doesn't just break your heart. It shatters your identity. You don't know who you are anymore, where you're going. You know what's up, what's down, right? But what we need to understand is that healing is not hiding. All right, I'm going to repeat that. Healing is not hiding, right? Now, I'm going to give you a few keys, right? A few keys that you can go with. So get your pen and your paper. So key number 1, right? Healing is not the same as hiding, right? Think of your heart like a garden. After a storm, the soil is messy, right? After a storm, the soil is messy, but it's still fertile. It's still fertile. If you avoid planting anything ever again, nothing will grow, right? So dating after heartbreak means replanting, if that makes sense, with intention. So now you're replanting your life with intention. You don't need to be perfect to love again. I want you to understand that. You don't need to be perfect to love again. You just need to be aware of your patterns, your triggers, and your worth. Because you do matter, you are amazing, and you are special. All right? Here's another key. You have to date from wholeness, not emptiness. All right? You have to date from a place of wholeness. Here's what I tell people. All right? Here's what I always tell people. Don't date for distraction. Date from a place of direction. All right? Don't date for distraction. Date from a place of direction. If your heart is still bleeding, don't try to bandage it, right? Bandage it with someone else, right? With someone else's presence. That we don't do that. Dating should be a compliment. I always tell people, dating should compliment you, not complete you, right? Dating should always compliment you, because dating is not a cure. Relationship is not a cure for your loneliness. So when you know who you are, what you won't accept, right? It won't cost you your peace, right? You because you know what you want and what you don't want, because you don't want anything that costs you your peace. All right. Here's another key, right? What to look for when you start like dating again. You have to know what you're looking for, right? And I want you to understand something: emotional consistency, not just chemistry. You have to look for that emotional consistency, right? Patience, someone who honors your pace, and that's important, right? Patience. Another thing, clarity, not confusion dressed up as romance. We're not looking for no, none of that. We ain't looking for no confusion. And most importantly, you have to ask yourself this question: can I still be me and be with them? Can you still be yourself and still be with someone? Because true love doesn't require you to shrink. And I need you to understand that. Real love doesn't require you to shrink who you are to accommodate anyone else. All right? So I need you, listen. Dating after heartbreak isn't easy, right? Let me wrap this up. Dating after heartbreak is not easy. But with healing, honesty, and faith, it's possible. It's very possible. Your past may shape you, but it doesn't define your future. It does not define your future, where you want to be, where you want to go. It doesn't define it. You are worthy of love, real love, right? Respectful, rooted love. Right? So listen, guys, if this resonates with you, I want you to drop a comment. Let me know your biggest takeaway. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on love, healing, and growth. See you next one.